Hey guys, what's up? Hope everything is good. Now, I've really been enjoying Mafia Definitive Edition. I've been playing on the highest difficulty and the simulation car settings, and this race level, just like the original, is extremely hard. So I thought I'd make a quick tutorial about the best tips and tricks that I've found to pass this level. Now, usually if I play this level 5 times, now I'd expect to come in first place around 3 or 4. So the first thing is you want to go straight to the left hand side. This gives you a lot of good opportunities to overtake people on the first turn, but the most important thing in the first turn is that you get through fairly fast, make up a couple of positions, but you want to come out on the right hand side of the track. So you can see I crash into people, but it doesn't matter because I still came through fairly fast and in a good position to cut across this first bit of grass. So I came across onto the right hand side of the racetrack, and I can cut across that first bit of grass and then here the second bit of grass. Now after this stage you really need to be in around the 3rd or 4th position. Shit! So this next turn, just try and come into this as fast as possible. It's quite a simple turn. If you need to, you can actually press the ram button and turn left, and you'll actually turn sharp if you're using a ram button. I used that a few times in this race. This next turn comes up on you quite fast. I tend to take my foot off the accelerator and slow down around here. However, I went straight into the yellow car here, but I didn't spin out and it reduced my speed enough, so it's fine. Just carry on. Now this next turn, the AI struggle with. So if you just come to the right hand side of the road, slow down and turn into it and get quite a nice turn, you can actually get some good places here. I actually think that turn there is the best place to actually catch up with people. Now I did crash into that yellow car and take him out. You don't need to do that whatsoever. This next turn, just take it simple. You know, don't lose too much speed, but don't go too fast either, because you don't want to go into the hay bales on the left hand side. And this turn here, just go straight in. I used the ram button here to actually do a bit of a skid. You don't need to do that, but if you feel it helps, why not? You get some sale points too. So now we get to the start line, this big straight line. Everyone on this difficulty will be faster than you, so just check there's no one behind you, and if there is, just get in their way so they can't overtake you. Now on this first turn, don't overdo it, just go slowly, take your foot off the accelerator around here, brake a little bit. You can use the ram button as well if you want to skid round, and just make sure you come out on the right hand side of the road again so you can skip these bits of grass here. Now if you're not in the top 3 positions at this stage, just restart. Honestly, just load the last checkpoint because this race is extremely unforgiving on this difficulty. So we're in a good position now. Like I said, you need to be around top 3 at this stage. So my only role here is just to overtake the guy in first. Now there's not much chance of doing it in any of these first corners, but just need to make sure that you don't crash stupidly like I did there. However, I still kept most of my speed up, so even though I messed up on this race, I'm still going to manage to win it. So this turn, nothing special, just take some speed off, make sure you brake round, use the ram button to skid around if you like. Now this is a turn that I always talk about where you can make up some really good positions. You can see he went straight across there. The AI always struggles on that turn. I think it's scripted that someone always crashes on that turn as well, so you can really, as long as you're in the top 3 position, use that turn to get away from people. So now we're in a really good position here in first place. What you need to do is you need to change your racing style at this stage. So rather than being quite aggressive on the turns, just be super careful. Make sure you do not mess up, because there's nothing more annoying on this stage than getting to this kind of position and then messing up because you've taken a turn too fast. You don't need to catch anyone up. On the straight bit, remember, everyone is always faster than you. So what you should be doing is always looking behind you and just making sure you're in front of them so they can't overtake you. Notice how on this first turn I'm extremely slow. I actually use a ram button here when I'm going too slow and nearly skid out, which would have been bad, but people are overtaking me here. But I'm not too worried because the tricks I've gone over, such as this grass one and the one further on with a little bump in the road, that gives you a really good opportunity to still get ahead of people. So as long as you're in the top 2 positions here, don't worry too much. You have plenty of opportunities to get back into first. So from this stage in the race, all you need to do is, well, notice how I'm looking behind me all the time. You can make sure no one's sneaking up behind you, and if they are, make sure you're in front of them so they have to slow down and they can't overtake you. Take each corner quite slowly, probably slower than you would do normally. Just make sure you are blocking them from taking over you, so being in front of them, constantly checking behind you like I'm doing there. I even run into those signs. It doesn't matter. You know, you don't have to go flat out when you're in first. All you have to do is make sure that you are looking behind you and that you are blocking them from overtaking you. So we're coming now to the final 2 corners and then the straight. So again, just make sure you're not going too fast around these corners. You do not want to skid out or mess up now. So just take your foot off that accelerator, brake as much as possible. Don't go too fast around both of these corners. Constantly check behind you, make sure they're not sneaking up on you. And then just on the straight bit, make sure no one is actually going to overtake you. And if they are, just position yourself so you're in front of them. And that is the race won. You no longer have to listen to that commentator. You no longer have to listen to that chirpy music, that upbeat, annoying chirpy music while you're having to restart 50 times in a row, and you can resume your life.
Hey, Tommy! There's our winner.